Welcome to another episode of the 12 Steps to Multimedia Success. This is Doc Rhea. You know what time it is. And today we're sitting with Lucas Wiggins.
That is I.
Who's relaxing right now. And Lucas Wiggins is a broadcast journalist. He has hosted his own show called Women in the Valley. He's also, he was a member of KPCRadio.com as the assistant program director, the managing field director, the club president, and he was also an ASO senator for the media arts department at Pierce College. This guy has been on the move, and right now he's in the hot box. Welcome.
Thank you.
I did want to ask you a couple of questions, specifically, where are you from originally?
I'm from North Carolina, from a small town. It's called Murfreesboro, right? Actually, I was born in Virginia, right? So Suffolk. You know what I mean?
You was born in Suffolk, Virginia?
Yeah, exactly. Wow. So I think a lot of people are familiar with that area because of, I believe it's an Air Force base there. So military, I guess. If you were just to ask a random person where that is. Like, do you know where that is?
Yeah, I know where Suffolk is, but I'm thinking it's an Air Force base. I know that I personally know that you personally ended up in the Marine Corps. That's what was messing with me on the issue. How did you go from growing up in an Air Force town to be in the Marine Corps? Well,
no, see, I didn't grow up there. I was born there, right?
Okay.
So my father's family is from North Carolina, but it's just across the line. Like, it's not like, deep south of the line, right? So it's still basically Virginia. It's just
from Myrtle to Virginia. From Virginia to Myrtle, pretty much.
It's northern North Carolina, though. I mean, if we had a map, I could be more specific,
What part of North Carolina?
It's called the Eastern Seaboard. It's like...
There I've never been.
Yeah. So, actually, the only university, I think, it's called East Carolina. Yeah, they're the Pirates. Athletics. Shout out.
What do they major in? Football, basketball?
Football. Yeah, their football team's pretty good. Honestly, I haven't followed them for a little while now. I've been kind of busy on my own personal missions. But,
So, what was it like for you growing up in the northern South? It's still considered the South. Even Virginia Beach is considered the South in some sense, but because of 13 colonies. But if you know your history, it's just only a position considering where they drew a Mason-Dixon line. That's why I'm talking to mostly. You'll notice I'm talking to mostly black folks from a black standpoint here. How we deal with multimedia. And that's part of this 12 Steps to Multimedia Success. A lot of the folks that I work with are in the black community, but I do work with a few folks of different nationalities. But as you notice, there are a lot of black people in the multimedia and entertainment community. So, so what was it like? Like I said, what was it like growing up, in the South?
Childhood memories, like the most memorable ones, like the ones that really make you feel good about your childhood.
Yeah.
Those happen in areas that there's a high concentration of segregation. So that's what I remember of my childhood.
Wow.
Finding out the difference between black and white.
Did you have any issues being black in the South as far as the police were concerned? Any things like that where just just random?
No, nothing I can really speak on.
So no harassment issues, like, because I know where I grew up, you walking down the street, you was just getting harassed by the cops. That's all I know.
I mean, harassed, yeah.
Yeah.
But I mean, like, nothing serious.
Nothing serious?
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, I mean, nothing like that. So, did you ever have a, specific, or should I say, when you were a kid, what was the where did you dream you would be when you became an adult? Yeah, what was your dream coming out of the hood? And you know, I mean, having the aspects of, like I said, harassment by the cops, you know.
Well, when I was a kid, you know, in like kindergarten, I think I kind of got this idea implanted in my head of being a firefighter. You know, and that was delivered by my kindergarten teacher, who I also had a crush on.
You see how that affected her too, you know what I'm saying? You know, yeah.
But you know, it's always two sides to the coin. Yeah. You know.
So how did it change growing up?
You know, there's angles. You know, that's what you learn in the long term. You know what I'm saying? You learn different angles.
Okay.
And that's useful, you know, to put it in short.
So from firefighter, which is noble, and I kind of see that transition because you went to the military, which is noble too. So, you know, that's the same concept there. So how did you get, you know, how did you pick the branch that you were going to go into in the military?
Well, I had two uncles that I kind of looked up to when I was growing up, and they both had been in the Marines. Okay. You know? And they were like out in the world, you know what I mean? Like they were traveling, seeing different things, you know what I mean? And reporting back. And I think both of those things really influenced the direction I'm going right now.
Wow.
You know, I actually went through the military. So now I'm just using everything I learned from that experience. I'm taking it and I'm reporting back. And I'm learning how to do it through a format so that my name can be on a degree.
So that takes us to broadcast journalism, I'm guessing.
Exactly. Transitions.
You knew where I was going there. So how did you actually start stepping in? I mean, when that switch kicked and said, okay, now I want to start doing broadcast journalism, what steps did you take?
Well, I sought out the resources that were available, you know, in that department, and it led me to media arts, you know.
Okay.
Actually, it led me to Jeff, and this was just by chance because I was looking for just, you know, one of those GE classes to fill in for your, you know, like your arts or some shit like that, right? Right. And it happened to be broadcasting 1, I want to say. And Jeff's really good at promoting. He's a really good promoter, you know.
Okay.
And that's how I ended up in B10, which is the radio class.
He sure is a good promoter.
You know what I'm saying?
I don't want to say it, but yeah.
You know, it works.
It works.
It definitely works. Yeah. I give him that.
So when you got into B10, how did you come up with the name for your show?
Women of the Valley.
It affects us.
Well, I don't know. I think it kind of speaks for itself. You know, it's Women of the Valley. Like, I feel like.
But you took a different standpoint. I mean, anybody could just say Women of the Valley. Tell us about the standpoint for your show.
Specifically for mine, you know, beyond the title, which I mean, I think the title carries the same meaning.
Yeah.
But it was really just about getting to know who the women of the Valley are. Like, you always hear the term Valley girls and this and that and blah, 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 right? Why not get down to the facts and find out who they are?
Right. But I noticed most of the women you pulled in were business professionals.
That's very true.
And see, that's the standpoint that a lot of people would have just taken, oh yeah, let's just go find some girls in the Valley. Let's talk to these girls, not, you know, that are just going to school here.
Yeah.
But you went out and found business professionals in the Valley and brought them in and talked to them about their experiences as women in the Valley. Exactly. And that's important.
He's been listening.
That was my job, man. You know.
Yeah, most definitely though.
But it was a good show.
Because that's a point of view, like, I feel like, I mean, personally, I just wanted to see for myself. But why not take advantage of the resources, like I spoke on earlier, that are available to me and recorded so other people can share the same experience?
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So I just make it happen behind the mic.
Okay. All right, I'll go with that. I like that. So, what was it like for you getting guests?
Getting guests, man.
So that needs some water.
I think what I learned the most from it is that you have to present yourself as someone who is approachable.
Okay.
You know, and you have to learn how to do that, and it takes, failures and successes to, deduce the meaning of it. And that's experience. That's XP.
He went to XP, homie.
What's up with Pokemon Go, man?
Oh, man. I've been trying to avoid talking about Pokemon Go. Hey, no, actually not avoid it, but be careful out there if you play Pokemon Go. Yeah.
Pokemon Go.
What's up with it? It's crazy.
I've been hearing stories, man.
It's I don't know. It's
I flip through Facebook every once in a while.
It's a geolocation app. There's a spot over here where they got a new fence. And they just put in a new design fence, and Pokemon Go know that it's on it. You know about that fence. Wow. That's a little bit too much.
Yeah, that's definitely up close and personal.
And I also heard a story last night, speaking of up close and personal, I also heard a story last night. The guy went out and did this on TV or something. He went out and talked to, I just heard it from somebody else, so I didn't actually see it. I'm actually a YouTube guy. He went out and talked to people and said, hey, there's a Pikachu down the block here. Just talking to random women, girls. Random girls walking down the street and told them it's a Pikachu down the block here. They're like, where? He said, well, we can get in my car and we can go down there and drive them. Be careful out there with Pokemon Go. I mean, and he was doing that as a joke, and he turned around and told them, look, you just said yeah to randomly getting in a car with a stranger and going driving somewhere. I could do anything to you. This is what's going on out there when it comes to these phones and communication. Be careful, folks.
Yeah, it's dangerous.
Yeah.
It's a dangerous game.
Yeah. Somebody can be dangerous and put out an app like that who geolocates you. So be careful what apps you download.
I think this kind of speaks to what we were talking about earlier about natural selection. It kind of fits it fits in that area. You know what I'm saying? Like,
yes.
That's one of the categories for sure. Like,
yes.
Yeah.
Yeah. Look both ways before you cross the street. That's natural selection. There's people just walking across streets getting hit by cars. Yeah. Anyway, more about Lucas Wiggins here.
Yeah,
Lucas, yeah. So, did we finish talking about how you get guests? I don't think we really did.
Damn. Okay, so yeah, no, I wanted people to see that point of view. Like, these are women who actually reside in the valley who are doing something. You know what I mean? Like, at least.
But how did you contact them?
How did I contact them?
How did you reach out to these women in the valley? You fulfilled your obligation when it came to getting the women for the show. And no, I think there was 9 shows when he went through. Now they got 8 shows. We've gradually lowered it, but 9 shows is a lot of shows.
It's a lot of give and take. Like, for me, it boils down to a numbers game. So it's about, I know if I approach this many, at least I'm going to have a pool of at least this many, you know what I'm saying? So if I say I approach 10 women, I'm going to have at least a pool of 5 women. Like 50% of those women are going to say yes to coming to my show.
Did you walk out and physically face-to-face contact them, email
most
them?
Definitely. Yeah, no, physically face-to-face. Like, it's like...
Okay.
I look for specific characteristics that I guess I think, are presentable. And I feel like a large group of people would agree, with my same perspective.
Yeah.
And then there's people out there who can appreciate my perspective because maybe they don't see it this way. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So, it's true.
It's true.
And then I look for, and how I come up with the show, like the content, is I look for things or I ask questions that would make me, I try to look at, it from the perspective of the listener. So I try to put myself in the listener's shoes, and I say, you know, what would I want to learn? Like, what would I want to ask, you know, this person most, if I could talk to them, even though I might not have access to them. So that's how I try to come up with my questions. You know what I mean? So, yeah. And then, you know, I feel like a light bulb just sparks for me in those type of moments. And that's what I enjoy about it, you know, the whole picture of it. Journalism. You know what I'm saying?
I mean, one of the things about journalism is learning about, you know, the tools.
Yeah.
Tools that are
storytelling.
The tools of storytelling. Yep. And so that's why I'm asking him to share with you guys, you know, contacting people is a tool of storytelling, just like using the microphone is. And speaking of microphones, what did you learn about microphones as you became a host?
Specifically about the ones in the studio. Actually, you know, it kind of sparked my own personal interest in, you know, learning more about the microphones that are available for recording.
Yeah.
Because if you can get the right tune through a headphone, you know, and get that into someone's ear, they're going to do whatever you say.
Exactly. Hey, you don't understand. I mean, if you get the right notes or you tell the right story, you help people. They're going to follow what you're telling them to do.
And mind you, this is all learned through experience. Like, this doesn't just, like, happen overnight. Don't get me wrong, like, the epiphany might come overnight, but it's through, you know, trials and tribulations.
And we're not talking about bad stuff. I mean, if you lead people down bad stuff, you'll end up falling in bad stuff too. It's karma has its way of coming back to you.
Right.
So, I mean, the best way is to try to guide people. If you're going to, they call it manipulation, but we're guiding people.
I saw a quote today, and it was like, it said, don't look for love, just give love freely and hope it comes back.
That's what we're here. We're here to give love. We're here to guide people, all of us.
Yeah.
We're here to guide each other. I mean, that's why it takes so long for a child to grow up to an adult. Because there's so many things we have to, that are older, teach those that are younger than us as we grow. And that could just be your sister who's a year younger than you. Yeah. That could be somebody older than you. Yeah, that needs to learn about devices. That doesn't know anything about technology.
Exactly. Yep. Speaking on that, before I actually started, you know, I mean, I was in the Marines, then I got out, and then I went to Santa Monica College. I was there for like a semester, and then I started the spring semester. Actually, I started the fall of 2012. I started the fall semester, right? So I did that, and then I started the spring semester of 2013, right? But at the same time, I was kind of looking for a job, you know, to kind of balance out the stability, you know what I mean? So I was hired by Time Warner to work as a technician, right? And there were opportunities presented, you know, or that were available, I should say, that I wanted to pursue. So I did that for like a year and a half. And I learned a lot from that. Like, that's an aspect of, like, just customer service in itself. Like, if you're, like, a server or something like that, like, that's something you need to, like, you know, enjoy, even though it's not enjoyable going through it. You know, you just have to find the good at the end of the light at the end of the tunnel.
He's right. I mean? Everything we do is service. No matter what aspect of life you pick, you have to serve something or someone. So, and find a way to serve it pleasurably. If you got to take time to learn that by serving as a server at wait tables or do cable. I did cabling technician. I learned how to do Cat5 cabling technician, fiber optics. I had to serve other people. You have to work for people to learn how to get to there. I had to work for people in film and to learn how to learn all this stuff.
But those tools are like, it's just, those are the essentials to make you successful in what it is you want to do. You know what I mean? Like, you don't have to, you know, go to the cosmos right now. You know, there's a journey along the way.
Journey along the way.
And that's, you know, the part that's, I guess, better left unsaid.
And that's why they recommend school. Don't get me wrong, school has its structure in that because it gives you that time to understand it. But I think a lot of people waste time in it. I've wasted time in it because not knowing where I wanted to go. But if you just take that time. Take that time and learn. Don't just... If you got an opportunity to go to school for free, take that opportunity. Get it out the way.
Yeah, but at the same time, you know, don't feel like it's too much pressure to pursue your goals.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Still,
I would say pick what you like. If you waste time picking what you like, at least you finish it.
It has to be enjoyable. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? Like, it has to be enjoyable at the end of the day.
At the end of the day. So, I mean, these are good points that he's pointing out here. Listen, he's coming up with some good stuff, and he don't talk that much. So to get him to talk is like pulling teeth.
I don't know, man. Like, I value my time. You know what I mean? I really, like, I respect myself more than anything. You know what I mean? Because, like, there's a point when you realize who you are. You know? And that's when the picture became complete for me. You know? So I'm just trying to paint that picture in reality. You know what I'm saying?
And he does it well. I mean, I say for his age because he's younger than me, but he does it well. So
try it, man. I appreciate it. I appreciate it.
So when we talk about microphone usage, you know, you get in the studio, you got your guest, you sit down.
Yeah.
What'd you learn about using the mics in the studio?
All right, so the mics. Wait, on which side though?
In the studio, you're hosting at this point. You with the guests. You women and guys. Yeah.
All right, so I'm with the guest. Oh,
don't worry about it, man.
I
keep putting that in the way. It's my fault.
No, I'm
knocking down stuff back here.
All right, so in the booth, about those mics, I don't know. I mean, I guess specifically is to have it to where your voice projects. You know, for those specific mics, which I'm pretty sure is across the board. You know, and then there's the other side, which we're going to talk about in a minute, where, you know, you control the pitches and the volumes and shit like that. You know what I mean? That's the engineering part. You know what I'm saying? But first, we got to get the proper projection. You know what I mean? So positioning, you know, that was a big thing. You know what I'm saying? Because I always listen back. Like, I would listen back to my, you know, to whatever I just recorded. You know, whether it was for the class or whether it was the actual radio show.
Yeah.
You know, I listen back and I don't know. I guess I'm a perfectionist in that way. You know, I just listen for imperfections, and then I realize that there's a way that you can fix these. That's the engineering part.
Right.
You know, so that's how I ended up going into the assistant program director position. So, yeah. Yeah,
and so with that, he went right into it. So you might as well talk about engineering. Talk about some of the tools you used engineering as an assistant program director.
Mostly what we used was Adobe Audition, right? Yeah, Audition. But I also personally because for the class assignments, it's cool. Like I love Audition for what it is. Like, it makes things simple once you figure out how to use them. But if you don't have Adobe, like on a mobile, it's a little tough to work with. So there's free options out there, and the one I chose was Audacity, right? So I just learned how to use that, YouTubed it up a little bit, you know, maybe like an hour and some change, and then just put those tools into practice. And that's how I did all of my outside work. You know, I'd take a mic for like a few days.
What kind of mic did you take?
Man, what did we take? Well, for the classes, we started out with the X2s.
Who are they made by?
Zoom or something like that? That's what it is.
Zoom X2.
Zoom X2.
Yeah.
And then there was the X4. Yeah, that I didn't get until I was like the program director.
Actually, it's the N. It's the N. And the Zoom. I think the Zoom N2, the Zoom N4, and the Zoom N8, I believe.
No, it's H. It's H.
Yeah. H. Oh, no, one's an H and one's an HN4. That's what it is. That's
exactly
what it is. I'm forgetting the tools myself because I stopped using them. How long ago?
I know, man. It's like,
we've been a program director for over a year.
Like, not even that.
And even when I taught, I always had to look at the number on it. So that's a memory for me. My bad. But the HN4s and the H4s, the H2s, HN4s, and the which is the big one?
I thought That was the HN4.
Maybe that was the HN4, the big one. Boxes. But I'll pop up these on the screen so we got the numbers for you, just so you get the actual nomenclature.
But hey, shout out to Sean, because he would always just like let me do my thing, man. And I appreciate that. Like that's, he appreciates, the effort. So if you put in the effort to, produce some creative, original content, he will provide you the outlet and the resources to do that. You know what I'm saying? And I appreciate that. You know what I mean?
Told you. Can't forget Sean. He be creeping on you.
Like he's major key.
Major key.
Major key.
Major key. And
definitely
you also
want to be friends with Sean.
You also work with Tracy too.
Yeah, Tracy is definitely someone that I look up to.
That's Tracy Savage, by the way.
Tracy Savage. Yeah. Yes. Yeah. She was a reporter for 30 years? Come on, dude. Like,
you seen her everywhere. Don't even know you seen her.
I was like, wow, that's Tracy.
Yeah. She knows the field well and makes a great.
Yeah, no, she's awesome though.
Yeah,
like, she's awesome.
Yeah,
she's cool.
And he already talked about Jeff Favre earlier. See, the same people I've been talking about.
Sean McDonald.
Yeah,
is what it is.
Yeah, I did a long thing on Sean McDonald. It's like told you. Because I almost at the end, I almost forget to say his name, and I always have to go just like you did. Shout out to Sean, because when you think about the technical equipment and all that stuff, he's always there backing you up, and he knows it all. So, what challenges did you face as assistant program director?
Let's see if I can break it down specifically. Challenges as a program director. The biggest challenge is what it's all about, which is communication. And it's figuring out how to communicate with people. More specifically so that you guys can work together, because it takes multiple people to create something. So I learned a lot about, using tools of communication.
All right, and I thought it was
Was that another part of the question? Like, what was the question again? Hit me again.
No, I was reading at the time.
Yeah.
I was listening, and I was reading, and I thought I was gonna come back with something more, but then I was like, actually, I do. Actually, now that you, now that you made me think about it a little bit more. What about as far as field directing in that sense? I was talking. Okay, basically, I was trying to combine the fact of assistant program directing with the field directing in that sense, and ask you that question. But in the same sense, tell us about field directing the first time you went out with Ethan. And going out, Ethan Hansen, by the way.
Shout out to Ethan Hansen.
Yeah, Scooby-Doo.
Like that's a guy that he does what he has to do to chase his dream. He's there for it. He's always going to be there for it, and I look up to him for that.
I do too. He said he looked up to me, but I look up to him.
Exactly. Major key.
So what was it like going out and field producer, finding, technically speaking?
You know what?
You took out tools. Let's go handle it.
What was the first one we did? I'm trying to remember. Oh, it was, what's his name? Eric Dickerson.
Oh, yeah. Yes. That's right. They did Eric Dickerson during the winter. Yeah. Oh, man. We've been so busy. Where'd you go to do Eric Dickerson?
All right, so shout out to Ethan's friend for introducing. Alright, so the story is I'm trying to get it clear here, right?
Take your time.
Ethan's brother plays baseball with this guy named Andrew's son, right? Wow. Andrew's a cool guy. He's a pretty big guy, He happened to know Eric Dickerson, so he set up a meeting. So Ethan hits me up. And he's like, this is randomly too. Like I don't remember. I think this might have been right before school. No, it had to be during school time.
Okay.
It had to be.
So it was during the fall.
Because I wouldn't have gotten the equipment otherwise.
During the fall.
Early fall.
Yeah, it was.
Yeah.
The idea was early fall.
Ooh.
I mean, at the end of fall, yeah.
It was.
Yeah.
So what happened is, we get there like, all right, so I'm at Ethan's house, and then we're preparing. I have my laptop, so I have actually, you know what I used to record. Speaking of, you know, I mentioned it earlier. I used Audacity. So, and then I took the login for what do we use? SoundCloud? No, not SoundCloud. It's like Sam Broadcaster. Yeah.
Sam Cloud.
I took the credentials for that, and you know, I swapped it onto the MacBook. You know what I mean? And bang bang, and I had it going live on kpcradio.com.
Yeah, so
but it was great, man. Like, it was great. We had you know, a nice little mic set up. Had it going to my laptop. I had my headphones, and it was just almost similar to this, but on a larger scale. Like, it was like a couch right there, and he was sitting right, like, that desk was like right here, and he was sitting behind. He had a big desk, and he had this wall full of like helmets and footballs from games and trophies and shit. And he had his like your gold thing, your blue scope thing right there.
Yeah,
that was his Heisman Trophy. I mean, no, excuse me. I think his Heisman Trophy was like in the back, but that was his Hall of Fame trophy, like the big head, the bus. Yeah. Anyway, so I'm like sitting on the couch, Andrew sitting next to me, Ethan sitting on that side of the desk. So I'm like sitting where Eric is, and Eric's chilling. He's got his like computer right here and shit. And we got the mics, and Ethan's like, "You ready?" Like, ready when you are. So hit the go button, and he just starts going at it. And I believe Andrew videotaped it on his iPhone.
Wow.
I believe so.
Yeah, I remember the video on YouTube.
Yeah, exactly. There was a YouTube video.
There was a YouTube video. So you guys can check that out on YouTube. Exactly. Look up Eric Zickerson, Ethan Hansen. I think he keyed you and Lucas Wiggins.
Possibly.
Yeah, he probably tagged everybody in it. So,
I believe so.
Yeah, so look that up on YouTube.
Exactly.
I'm even looking up and see if I can put the link in this video.
Yeah. So. Oh, yeah. I remember that because I shared it all over the page. And it's a great video, great footage. I had a great time doing it. I appreciated the opportunity, and I provided, you know, the service that we spoke on earlier. And, you know, I had a good time doing it. And that's the big part about everything, you know what I mean? Everything I do, I try to make sure I'm enjoying it while I'm doing it. Otherwise, it's a waste of time, man. Like, it's true. It's just a waste of time.
Yeah. Yeah, he reminded me about that too a few dozen times. Yeah, sometimes things get heavy when you're doing a lot of things and a lot of communication. You got to remind yourself, hey, it's about pleasure. It's about enjoying life and enjoying the people around you. Yeah. So next thing, he jumped into, A what? Oh yeah, didn't you guys do a road trip? Yeah, you guys did a long road trip to go broadcast a show. Oh, tell us about that long road trip. They got on a bus.
I think it was Manhattan Beach. No.
Yeah, it was Manhattan Beach. Yeah, I don't know if it was a broadcast a show or a convention.
I think it was the Sheraton, and it was a press conference for the Rams. Oh, wow. I forget who specifically. I believe the coach was there. Forgive me for, you know, his name is. Just Google it. And yeah, it was a great experience, man. The trip, we definitely took the metro. That's what interested me. Like, that's what brought the most interest for me for the whole trip. Like, you know, you'd be like, oh man, you saw the Rams, this and that, blah blah blah. And yeah, and that's great. And I enjoyed recording it. Like, it was great to just be in that atmosphere because you got to experience what a live press conference was about. And Ethan held his ground. Like,
I'm telling you. Ethan's a hell of a reporter. Look out for Ethan Hansen, the new Chick Hearns. Chick Hearn Jr., I call him.
Shout out to Ethan, man.
Shout out to Ethan.
Have fun with Ethan.
So wait, you said the most interesting part of the trip was, of the actual experience was the trip down?
Yeah, just we took the metro, so I was kind of just following his lead, you know? And because I trust Ethan, because Ethan, like, for the most part, he follows through. Like, he definitely follows through. You know what I'm saying? And that's something I feel like I can follow. So I followed him, you know what I mean? And I had his bag when he needed it. You know? And it showed me different parts of Los Angeles that I might not have experienced otherwise. So that was a plus for me, you know what I mean? And then just being in good company, you know, because I fuck with you. You know what I mean? Excuse me.
But that's how he feels. That's real. So yeah, I'm not here to censor out people being real. You know what I mean? I may not cuss myself. I may not, you know, partake myself. But you know what I'm saying? I'm not here to censor out people being real. We want you to see people as they feel comfortable. So you understand that they are who they are. So and with that being said, so after you went on that long mission. You know what I'm saying? Where was that? Oh, after that, or was it after or before? You booked an event with the Topanga Vintage Market. Ooh. Tell us about that. See, he forgetting all the stuff he's doing, and I'm remembering everything.
Yeah. All right, so it's because it's like there's levels. You got to keep going. Just got to keep climbing the
levels. Yeah.
So, anyways, Topanga Vintage Market. How did I even come up with that? I know. It was an assignment for, I want to say, Journalism 202 with Jeff Favre. That's it, right?
Jeff Favre and Tracy.
There it is.
Tracy Savage.
Actually, she wasn't.
Oh, yeah. She wasn't. It was Jeff Favre solely, huh? And
well, I saw him, I saw Jill,
you go
I saw
Jill.
Rob.
Yeah, I'm sorry.
Maybe I saw Tracy.
That class is connected with all three of them, but really is Jill Connolly because she's handling the photo side. When they come together, it is Jeff Favre for 202. But they do two separate classes. They do separate together, and then they come back together for the actual paper itself. Right. So, yeah. Jill teaches photo, Jeff teaches 202.
Because apparently that's all the space there is.
Hey, but they do it. So, moving on. There is.
Yeah, no, but the vintage market. So I was looking for a story, and I think there was like a flyer or something I saw, or I might have presented it actually, because no. This is definitely for us. But long story short, I contacted the founder and the co-founder, Lori. Her name is Rotzblatt, like Rotblatt, I believe.
Yeah.
You know, you can look that up. But anyway, so I spoke
She's
with her.
She's on the website too, so
she had
Topanga Vintage Market website.
Her and her co-founder, and both of their names are listed on the website, so you can check that out. But yeah, so I spoke with them, and we had a very nice conversation, and they presented opportunities that were available to, you know, me, not only as a student, but to the school, you know, because they're kind of two separate entities. It's just that they give a portion of the proceeds from the event to the school to use the parking lot, which is where it's held. So there is essentially no presence of the school other than it's on school grounds. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And that's what I saw, and I was like, well, wait, what's available to me? You know, there it is again, resources. You know, so I introduced the idea of having, you know, our radio come out and kpcradio.com and do a live broadcast at one of their events, which is every fourth Sunday, I believe.
Every fourth Sunday. Very month.
That's it, right?
Yeah, that's it. Cool. He was on it.
Yeah. So, yeah, check that out if you're interested. It's at Pierce College. It's actually a pretty nice, it's a pretty nice little event. Like, if you just want to just have one of those days where it's just a Sunday and you're not really, like, in the mood to do too much and you just want to kind of go stroll with your girlfriend or whoever it may be, you know, or alone even, you know, it's a nice place to go and just get some fresh air, I guess. Yeah. You know, it's a nice little environment. So anyways, and they have live music from, you know, I guess a performer or two, but it's a pretty large parking lot and that's pretty spread apart. So there's dead zones, you know, everywhere. Yeah. So we just set up by a food truck and we brought the business in, you know what I'm saying?
We had a good day that day. I mean, I was there. I'm asking about it for you guys' benefit, but I was there. We had a good day that day.
Yeah, it was very enjoyable. Wow. Like, I mean, just to do something that, you know, to me, I'm interested in it beyond a school format. Like, it's not just a grade to me. It's like something I really want to do. You know what I'm saying? It's something I'm going to do. You know, it's something I'm doing. Good. You know, so
I didn't know if he was changing his mind about that. I'm trying. Part of this is trying to bring him back into that. But he's already still in it.
Yeah, like I'm not going anywhere. You know, ain't going there's different formats to this too. So, oh, man. You know, pick your poison.
So wait, you was also the club president.
So, KPC Radio Club. Yeah. KPC Radio Club. I wonder if that's going to be recharted ever.
Well, it's going to be, I think I'm going to rechart it, as a matter of fact, the next season, but I'm not sure. Don't quote me on that. You know, it depends on how I do this new show that I might be doing if Brittany, the new program director, lets me. I'm pretty sure Brittany on my program. Yeah, she's the new program director. Congratulations, huh?
Yeah, so speaking on that, oh no, congratulations to her most definitely for that position, because that's definitely some responsibility that she's accepted on her shoulders. Yeah. And that shows that, you know, she's at least willing to face it. So, you know, that's a congratulations.
Yeah, congratulations.
Yeah, most definitely.
So, since you was the president, what was the actual mission of the club?
The mission of the club was to connect the people from the classes that run the radio station and the magazine and the newspaper, connected with the community. Right? So, being a part of the ASO, the Associated Students Organization, that gave me the opportunity to know when these types of community events are going to take place, right? So I had the inside scoop. Like, I knew before, you know, way in advance, you know, and within enough time to set up and plan something, you know what I mean? At least a presence, because there was none, you know? So that's what I did. You know, I took the resources that were available and I built a presence, you know, and I showed that it can be done.
He was cheating, man, because his job as assistant program director was community outreach. He was doing them all at once. That's what I realized. I'm like, wait a minute. The goal for the, everything, which is smart. That's the way, that's the way, if you can multitask all your multimedia aspects all in one avenue, do it.
Well, see, what I'm slowly learning is that, you know, speaking on the natural selection, here in Los Angeles, if you're going to survive, you have to be able to multitask on some type of level. Like, you got to be, you know, within a certain range. And if you're outside of that interquartile range, you know what I'm saying? Yeah. You're an outlier.
Yeah, I hear people saying, go ahead. You're not gonna make it? Yeah. I hear people saying all the time, don't multitask. You got to multitask. And I get what you're saying, don't multitask in 50 different fields that don't relate to what you're trying to do. Mm-hmm. Be in the same area that you're trying to do. Like I was telling you guys before, every time I left the industry, I ended up coming back. And so that's why I know all this stuff, and that's why I'm certified in all these areas that are for this field.
The hard part about it is knowing when each part is specific to you in the right time. Yeah, that's the hard part, like going through it, you know what I mean? Because you're not always going to make the right decision. Like, you might feel like after you've done it all, you may feel like you could have done it different, but the important part is that you did it.
Yeah. And knowing when to hold them and knowing when to fold them. Yeah, you know, knowing when it's, okay, I got to move on. That's a tough one. Yeah. What are some of the other activities? Some of the activities that the club participated in.
Okay, so
we were just talking about one earlier.
Yeah. I think the most successful one was probably no. Okay, so we had a few actually. The Vintage Market, first and foremost, that was the club event, right? But I look at them as one and the same. They're all one thing to me. You know, it's just like I combine the resources. Like I turn it into something, into a product that I feel like I've put the work in, you know, to present. You know, so and I find enjoyment in that, and that's something that, you know, if you're going to be successful in this type of thing, those are the type of qualities you're going to need to possess.
So wait, the other event that we were talking about earlier, Farm Walk.
Yes, Farm Walk was the second event. That was a great time too. Yeah. Shout out to the students of B10. Who was out there? Who showed up? Taylor showed up. Taylor for sure showed up.
Yep.
Deshaun Kavanaugh. There he is. Shout out. Ariana Hall. Yes, you did. Mm-hmm.
Patrick
was definitely there. He was multitasking too. Hey, he's another one to look out. Like
everywhere,
he's doing his thing. Like he pursues what he wants, and that's great. You know.
Did he ever show up? Didn't ever show up?
Oh, you know what? Sorry, I take that back. Maybe he was multitasking too much, which happened. You know what I'm saying? It's just a part of the trip.
Yeah,
it's part of the journey.
Didn't ever show up? No, who else?
Oh wait, to Farm Walk?
Yeah, to Farm Walk.
Yeah, no, Ever definitely showed up. Ever Keyspace.
Yeah.
How you say it?
Yeah, that's it. He was right on point.
There it is.
And
Olivia Cervantes.
Yeah, who was also out at Topanga Vintage Market with us. Yeah, she interviewed.
Yes,
most definitely.
She was at Topanga Vintage Market. Yeah. She did a couple interviews. Yeah, most definitely. She just like off the top. Yeah. She just took. All right, so I got.
I just saw her at Wells Fargo.
Let's rewind. Let's back up. Right. There were guests that were invited to the show, right, or at least to. I gave out certain amounts of times for people to come and perform, you know, at this event, the Vintage Market, because it's pretty promoted throughout the west side of the valley at least, you know. So, I mean, they have like on average 2,500 guests every time the event, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
So, anyways, we gave away time slots for this event for guests to fill, and one of the guests was Dean Briscoe.
Yeah.
Shout out to Dean.
I was trying to think of it just now.
Yeah. just rocking it out, like beyond technical difficulties, just going like
Yeah.
He knows what he wants. He's another one of those people who knows what he wants. Like
exactly.
He knows what he wants and he goes for it. And that's enjoyable to see, and I like to share that experience. So that's the love in it for me, you know.
Exactly.
This allows me to share that experience, so you know.
Yeah, and let me not forget Londi Saga Stuve was out there.
Londi, for sure. Like, most definitely. Like, all the club members. Like, I don't believe anyone...
I think all the club members showed up.
Everyone that was in the club showed up.
So, and shout out once again to Dean Risco. Thank you for coming out. And what was the other guy's name who came out and sang? I can't remember. I can't remember his name. He came out and was interviewed by Olivia.
Olivia interviewed him as well.
Yeah, that's a friend of Olivia's.
Yes. What was his name?
Oh, man, he sang a few good songs. Once again, I apologize for my big mouth. You know, sometimes I talk too loud.
What was his name?
But no, seriously, I apologize for that.
Damn. No, I know what his name was. Fuck. All right, let's keep going. It's gonna come.
All right, and when he gets his name, we either way, we're gonna put it up on the screen to make sure we represent. You know what I'm saying? Because he did a hell of a job out there, and he said he was gonna come back and do another one, didn't he?
Yeah,
he was down. He's down to come back and play anytime. So if you want to come in the hot box, you know what I'm saying? I'm always looking for jammers, music. We keep it going.
Shout out to him though.
Yeah,
hey, he works at the signature LA Fitness over here in Woodland Hills.
Really?
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. He's right over there.
He's right there.
I have to go by right there. What were some of the? No, I already said that. Okay, so and that's another thing. When we talk about in 12 steps. When we talk about your scripts.
LA Fitness.
Yeah, LA Fitness. Shout out to LA Fitness. Okay, now that you're done with KPCRadio.com, we already talked about it a little bit. You're still staying in broadcast, but what kind of goals you got for the future?
For the future, I mean, I'm really going with the flow. I feel like I'm 27, right? So I feel like maybe through the last 10 years, for sure, I've just gathered, experiences that have allowed me to see what it takes to make someone successful. Okay. And now it's just a matter of putting those in practice, and that's what this is. That's what school is. That's what work is. I mean, it's just a matter of, at the end of the day, balancing the scale. You gotta maintain your happiness with your work ethic. You know what I'm saying? If not, combine them to be one and the same.
And what he's saying is, people say that to you all the time, and we're like, oh man, they just tell us. It's actually proven neurologically. We have to battle our own self. We got a limbic system that's telling us when we planned to go do something. Sometimes our limbic system takes over. It tells us we're not feeling so well. We got to take that step. One thing we learned in the military, sometimes we don't want to do it, but we got to get out there and do it.
Yeah, that's part of it.
Do your dream and persevere through it, even when it's hard. I mean, we've all failed at it. Let's keep pushing and keep going for it.
That's right, because it's the journey, like has been said, and it's really about how you get back up. Like, everyone gets knocked down. Nobody's saying they've never been knocked down. You know what I'm saying? Nobody's ever said that. That's not a thing.
We all get it.
It's about how you handle the process and how you continue to move forward.
Yeah. And as you grow, you'll learn how to handle it better.
Exactly.
Every experience, you may have a bad experience in this one. You do it another way when you do it again. So you'll learn from each step. So with that being said, if your viewers want to contact you, hire you, or work with you, or how can they reach you?
Well, they can reach me through Doc Rio. Shout out. Hit him up. He'll be the contact for sure.
All right, bet. So, with that being said, he's saying you can reach him through Rio Bucks. Rio Bucks, if you go to RioBucks.com, you'll find this episode.
There you go.
On RioBucks.com. And you'll, more than likely, if you join the program, you will definitely find him showing you, talking to you about some engineering. That's actually part of my thing.
I like to share whatever I learn. You know what I'm saying? At the end of the day, that's really what this is.
Yeah.
For me, it's 360. Like, I've been thinking about tattoos to get, I feel like I should get some ink, you know what I mean? Maybe just a little something, you know what I'm saying?
I'm actually going to get some new ink myself. I'm waiting for my sister to come back in town to get some new ink.
And I'm trying to put at least a decent amount of thought into it, you know what I mean? Like, I want it to be something very, meaningful. Maybe not something that's so cliche or something that's like, everyone's gonna recognize immediately what it is, because it's really not about pleasing everyone. It's about showing, the expression of myself and how I feel.
So what are you gonna do?
It's like wearing the inside on the outside. You know what I'm saying? So I'm still I'm in debate, man. Like, it's hard. It's tough, man.
It's tough.
I think the largest battle, though, probably is really finding the right artist. Someone you can really trust to go the depths, because the realm is deep.
Yeah.
But
you taking it hard.
Yeah, I know for sure, man. Like, it's definitely gotta be a nice.
I mean, I know mine's
symbolism.
I can't say mine isn't cliche, but it's my logo stuff, so it's got history for me. But at the same time, it's difficult when you try to find something deep that represents you and you want to pull it out and show it to people.
Right.
Because you're wearing it on your chest, you're wearing it out to the world.
It's just that when I expose that's what I just said, it's my is my inside on the outside. So like I'm essentially naked. My tattoos tell my story. You know what I'm saying? So, you know.
What you learning about Lucas Wiggins right here that you didn't know about right here in the hot box, folks. Yeah, and as I was saying before, as a matter of fact, I want to see if I can grab him still in the back for some audio engineering field equipment for our 12 steps to multimedia success. So you'll be back, right?
I don't know if that's... Oh, here on Doc Rio?
Yeah,
oh,
yeah. It's back to you
sure.
talk about the engineer like we were talking about. Yeah. All right.
Yeah,
all right.
Definitely be in the hot box, as they say.
Yeah, in the hot box.
Right here in the hot box.
So we're going to take a chill pill soon. So that's it for us today on the 12 Steps to Multimedia Success. Stay tuned for more
Come back
on the next 12-step block that'll be released this week. Stay tuned for it. This is Doc Rio and this is Lucas Wiggins. Thank you for coming again. Hey, we signing off. Peace.
Let's push button, baby.